I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan from the Hyperpigmentation Clinic, and this channel is dedicated to skincare for skin of color. Because I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator, all my videos come from a very scientific perspective. I literally break down ingredients lists, and all the opinions I give come from science. So I get asked all the time, so why does skin of color require different products and different information to Caucasian skin? The reason being is that with skin of color, our melanocytes are large. Those are cells that produce the pigment melanin. So those cells become easily triggered. One scratch, one bite, one burn, and we pigment. With Caucasian skin, they can literally burn the full top layer of the epidermis off doing Fraxel laser, and they will be absolutely fine. They'll have no pigmentation. Their skin will grow back beautifully. So with us, we have to be a lot more careful with our skin. In addition, often we require more effective ingredients, especially when we're dealing with very dark pigmentation. So if you follow me at the Hyperpigmentation Clinic on Instagram, you can see my before and afters, and I've treated about 30,000 cases to date for pigmentation and skin of color. So I am heavily invested and in love with skin of color, and really this whole channel is me giving you evidence-based information so that you can make informed, educated decisions. So today's video is all about Dr. Dennis Gross skincare, and you guys have asked me so many times to make this video, and honestly, you know, you've given me a list of about 100 brands, and I'm slowly going through them. I launch 5 videos a week. I just physically don't think I can do more than that, and I think you'd be sick of me anyway if I did more than that. So we will eventually get through all of them, but today is all about Dr. Dennis Gross skincare. So the first product we're talking about is their Alpha Beta Universal Daily Peel. I wasn't impressed, honestly. Step 1, the second ingredient, meaning it's got a large percentage, is denatured alcohol. If you watch enough of my videos, you will know denatured alcohol leads to an inflammatory cascade on our skin, even though we can't see it taking place. And the inflammation, irritation, and premature aging will carry on happening. So it's one of those ingredients that if you see denatured alcohol, I would run in the opposite direction. So this is the second ingredient here, which means that it's at a high percentage. They then added the third ingredient, which is glycolic at 5%. So it's roughly about 5% because it's the third ingredient. And glycolic is an AHA, but it's a tiny molecule. So it's actually my least favorite AHA for skin of color. It's the one I would again say to avoid. And I certainly wouldn't put AHA, glycolic acid, with denatured alcohol on your skin because it's asking for trouble. The fourth ingredient here is witch hazel. I think he literally just put all the worst ingredients in one product. Witch hazel basically is, the reason people put it on is they formulate with it is because it gives you this false satisfaction when you put it on your skin if you've got oily skin, because it strips the oil. The problem is that you're actually aggravating further sebum production, so you can lead to more breakouts. But also don't forget, how is witch hazel made? It is distilled in alcohol, and so again you're putting more alcohol on the skin. The single worst ingredient for all skin, let alone skin of color, is denatured alcohol. So I literally, I'm not a fan. In addition, he went and added salicylic acid, citric acid, lactic acid, malic acid. And of course, he added fragrance. Yes. Anyone who is a skincare junkie knows fragrance is just another single worst thing that you can put on your skin, because it's the #1 cause of contact dermatitis. So, it's a shame, because the second step is actually decent. It's the first step that I've got an issue with. The second step is he's got ascorbic acid and ascorbol palmitate, and he's got retinol palmitate in it too. It does say that it's got retinol in there, and I need to know the percentage before I can actually recommend it to you, because for skin of color, I tend to recommend maximum 0.5% retinol so that we have 0% burns and 0% irritation. So until I know the percentage of retinol in this particular product, I can't even recommend it. I like that it does have antioxidants in it. So it's even got ubiquinone, resveratrol, and vitamin E. I love that he's added a combination of antioxidants. As we all know, antioxidants work much better in combination so that they're not oxidized in the bottle before you actually apply it to your skin. So he got that right. The negative here, however, is he added octoxanol 9 as an emulsifier, and that can be quite irritating. It's about 7 out of 10 on the irritation scale. I mean, otherwise, I'm actually quite happy with the second step. If I just knew the percentage retinol, is a very good concoction of antioxidants. I do understand what he was trying to do was basically open up the top layer of skin so they've got better penetration of the actives. But with skin of color, we can't afford to just, you know, like a bull in a china shop, rip open skin and shove in ingredients. It just, that doesn't work for us. And so I would honestly say save your money, especially he's called this a daily peel. Please don't do it. Okay, so moving on to the next product, which is his Ferulic and Retinol Eye Cream. So don't forget, the skin around the eye is very delicate. It's only a few cells thick. It's about 0.3 millimeters. So you have to be really careful in this area. And he's added very irritating ingredients at quite high percentages for this area. So it's, first of all, it doesn't tell me what percentage retinol, but it looks like it's about 2 to 3% based on where it is in the ingredients list, which is again far too high for skin of color, even here where the skin is actually much thicker than around the eye. In addition, he added ferulic acid, glycolic acid, and lactic acid, and only 2% caffeine and only about 1% ascorbyl palmitate. So the two ingredients that I'd want in much higher concentrations for skin around the eye, he's put as very low percentages, and the ingredients that I wouldn't want, you know, so at such high percentages around the eye, he's, you know, done the opposite. I mean, the positives here are it's got tetrapeptide 21, it's got collagen amino acids, it's got some moisturizers in it too. It's another great positive that it's got no fragrance. However, unfortunately, I don't think he's thought this formula through. He's not really looked at the physiology of the skin around the eye and I don't think he's analyzed it well enough. I think it could be a lot better. It shouldn't be irritating, and it should be a lot more effective. Okay, so moving on to his next product, which is professional grade resurfacing liquid peel. He's basically made the same mistake as he made with his alpha beta universal daily peel. So he added denatured alcohol, he added glycolic acid, he added witch hazel, and then he just went and added a plethora of acids. So he went salicylic, mandelic, phytic, tartaric acid, which actually on their own, just those acids without the witch hazel and the denatured alcohol would have been great actually. If you've watched my layering of acids for skin of color, I basically break down which acids we should be using and which ones we want to avoid, and you know how to combine them. So make sure you head over and watch that video next if you are interested in acids for the skin. So we got half of this formula right. I like the acids. I love phytic acid. There's not an acid we find very often. It penetrates into the deep dermis, and it's great for pigmentation of the dermis. So I use a lot of phytic acid in my own products at the Hyperpigmentation Clinic. I don't know if you're already following me, so that's on Instagram at the Hyperpigmentation Clinic. I specialize in pigmentation for skin of color. Now the step 2 is better. So it does have collard oatmeal. I don't know why my words are coming out all wrong. It's also got ubiquinone, resveratrol, vitamin E, which are all great antioxidants, and they're non-irritating. So love that bit. And he's created, again, as a combination, so he's got that right. He also added glycerin, which is a humectant, which basically hydrates the skin. So I actually really like step 2. Spot on, perfect for skin of color, step 2, but step 1 is just far too much injury for skin of color. So for that reason, I would say I wouldn't recommend buying this product. Okay, so moving on to the next product, which is C Plus Collagen Brighten Plus Firm Vitamin C. What is it with these long titles? I want a snappy, quick title. Okay, so the positives are it's got great humectants, it's got glycerin in it, so that's very hydrating to the skin. It's got niacinamide in it, as you all know by now. If you haven't watched my niacinamide video, please watch that video. But basically, it reduces your pore size, which controls your sebum levels, reduces any erythema or sensitivity of the skin, and it helps to stimulate collagen. So it's just like it's an all-rounder great ingredient for skin of color, and I would highly recommend you add this to your skincare routine if you haven't already. It's also got ascorbic acid and ubiquinone, which is also great antioxidants, and it's also got collagen amino acids. So he, until this point, is doing an outstanding job. I love the product until here, because then he went and added denatured alcohol, which just, he let himself down. And I know why he was doing it. I know he was trying to open up the skin to allow the ingredients in. But honestly, it's just such a mistake. And it's a little bit old-fashioned, if I'm honest. It's a little bit like why a lot of the industry will add fragrance or essential oils when they know it's old-fashioned, or why you would use plastic containers when you know it's old-fashioned. You know, you should be using glass. We should be more aware. Oh, so I think he needs to reformulate this one because he's so close. So if you're watching and you reformulate it and you just take out that denatured alcohol, I'll make another video for you, I promise, and I will endorse this product because it's so close to being a very good product. I'm in the comments section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video, so make sure not only do you subscribe, but you hit that notification bell because I want to answer your questions in real time. Secondly, please do download your free insider's guide to skincare for skin of color if you haven't already. If you've got any brands and you're from other parts of the world, I'm very aware that skin of color, we are everywhere and we have access to different brands in whichever country you're in. Please can you write it down below, and I will make series for each country so that no one feels left out and everyone has access to the best products in the market for them. It's interesting actually, right now I'm doing all the Indian skincare range and all the Indian products that you can find, and I would expect actually everything to be good for Indian skin. I mean, surely that's the market. But that's actually not the case. And so I really wanted to make these videos for you to make sure that you are empowered when you go skincare shopping. Thank you very much.